Hi, I'm Mike. And while they say they aren't making any more land, the one thing that they're really not making any more of is time. And today we take advantage of wasted time and get a couple projects done on the ranch. It's true. They say the one thing that you should buy now because they're not making any more of it is land, which is true. They're not making any more land, but the big thing that they're really not making any more of is time. And if you talk to any rancher or any farmer, they're always going to say that the biggest waste on the ranch is time. That's the one thing that if you do waste it, you're never ever going to get it back. While we're calving and the cows still aren't really doing anything, and I'm beginning to wonder about my preg checking abilities, actually, if you look at the preg checking chart and the computer program that we use, it's called Cattle Max, it tells you how many cows you're expected to calve in the next week. We expect to calve, according to that program, 57 cows in the next week. That's not going to happen, but still, just looking at that number, it kind of scares the crap out of you. So while we're waiting for the cows to have their calves, while we sit back and drive through the cows every few hours and just take a look and make sure that everything's okay, we still have work that needs to be done. And it'd be really simple to go and check the cows and then go and sit down and eat a sandwich or watch some TV or whatever, watch some YouTube. It'd be really easy to do. Unfortunately, there still are projects that are laying around that need done. I mean, the shop needs cleaned. That's one thing that really does need done. I'm going to save that for a rainy day. But we do have a couple projects that I really do want to get done today. And that one of them is finishing up what we started with the Gator. Now we're 95% of the way there. I've got all the lights done. I've got switches put in. It's right there, but we did leave off one little thing, and that was one set of lights actually, so we're not done with the lights, but we're close enough. One little thing, one set of lights that I wanted to get put on here, and the day that we put them on, I said that I needed self-tapping screws to get it done, and I didn't have any, but now I do, thanks to Amazon. I didn't even have to run around or go to any stores or have any social interaction with anybody. I was able to order them on Amazon, boom, they show up on your step. So we have those self-tapping screws now, so we can get that done. Also, for a project that's further on down the road, it's time to start prepping for that. And one part of that is kind of going out and disassembling a portion of our corrals. We have a big corral project coming up, and thanks to Arrowquip, we're able to do something we've never been able to do before. And we're going to share all that with you coming up. But the first part of that project is actually getting our old Arrowquip chute, the portable chute, out of there. So we're going to go back and undo what we did, story of my life. We're going to undo a bunch of the corral work that we did last year. We're going to pull that Arrowquip system back out, that portable system, which was never made to be inside a permanent system. Anyway, we're going to pull that out, and we're going to get that moved out of the way and figure out what we're going to do with that. So those are the two big projects we have coming up today. I'm going to get started on, what should I start on? Let's start in the corrals. We'll start in the corrals. Inside our corrals here is the Arrowquip portable corral system. It consists of a chute, an alley, and a tub, all in one part that you actually pull behind your pickup. You can move it to wherever you need to and make it work to where you need to put it. Now, this system is not made to be part of a permanent corral system. So when I moved it in here, I know they looked at me at Arrowquip and they said, "What are you doing?" But we wanted to be able to use the Arrowquip chute and their corrals and their alley and their tub when we preg checked last year. It worked great. There's no complaints whatsoever. But it is time to get it out of here and maybe start looking at a more permanent solution to our problem. The portable corral or the portable chute is great. We are still going to be able to use it in plenty of places, including our summer pasture way far back, where we're going to be hopefully building a new corral back there in order to use this system with it. But if we're going to do anything, we've got to get rid of this thing first. Right now it is in its fully deployed stage. It has everything's folded out. I gotta remember how to put everything back together, actually. And I have a battery charger hanging here. This may look like a totally unsafe and bad idea, but my cords weren't long enough to actually reach all the way up there to charge the battery that we need to hydraulically lift this thing up and put the wheels and the tongue back on it. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna get it all folded up, get it ready to be put away. And if you remember when I put it in here, it was kind of a pain in the butt. So what we're gonna have to do is fold it all up. We're gonna have to basically drag this whole thing out of here, get it kind of dragged down and out of the way, and then come and hook up with it, hook up with the pickup or with the tractor or something to actually pull it out of here the rest of the way. So here's our mess, and it's time to clean it up. It's kind of funny, but in ranching and farming, probably as in most things, if you don't do stuff like constantly over and over and over again, you will forget how to do things. Like it's inevitable, right? So, really? Okay. So if you don't do things all the time, you forget how to do them. You forget how it works. So it's kind of cool to go back and visit this stuff every once in a while and just make sure that you remember how to do it. The other thing I try to preach constantly is that even if you do forget how to do stuff, you can always refer back to the book. Something's goofy here. Something's not quite right. I don't remember this hanging out like this. Maybe that's how it was. Okay. All right, everything gets tightened down. None of that is moving. Everything else is free and clear. We can disconnect our airborne battery charger here. And pull her out of the way. It's about, what time is it? 4:40 in the afternoon. I don't know, 50 degrees, 40 some degrees out here. And this is actually a really nice time to be out working on the ranch. It's not too hot, not too cool, and you know, there's really nobody else to bug you. So if I can manage to keep socially distant from that rooster, I'll be good to go. We are all disconnected here, and the only thing we really need to do is pull this thing out of here, preferably without hurting it or somebody else. See, the big trick is here, I don't own this thing. This thing's worth, I think, right around $18,000 is what this thing costs. So, little leery of doing something bad, right? So, hey, I just figured out how this gate works. There's a pin up here. I told you I didn't think this looked right with this chain doohickey. But if we lift it up here, somehow, there we go. And then there's a pin that goes through it. I knew it was held by something more than just a chain. There we go. Awesome. Okay, time for chains. Maybe we'll bring the tractor over first, but my plan is to pull it out that direction, curving it around so that we can then put the wheels and stuff on it. It's always easier to tear something apart than it is put it together. I remember spending like days thinking about this. It's just going to take us a few minutes to rip this thing out of here. Oh, don't say rip. To nicely move this piece of equipment that I don't own out of here. Yep, this isn't stressful at all. Okay, I think that's out far enough. Now we have to put the wheels and the tongue on, and we'll get the pickup over here and pull it out of here. I'm debating on how I'm going to put these wheels on. I can use the jacks to go up and get the wheels put on, but I already have it hooked up to the tractor, so I wonder if I can just lift it up with the tractor enough to get the wheels put on. Okay, well that seemed to work, and it dumped about a bunch of dirt out. So we're gonna go grab the wheels and put those on, and then we'll have to jack it up to put the tongue on, but that's okay. We'll get the wheels put on now. Ah, crap. There's a bunch of dirt in there. I'm guessing that's what the problem is. Boy, if there's even a little bit of dirt in there, it doesn't want to go in all the way. On this side, we'll clean it out first. All right, bring on the pickup. Well, that turned into a little bit more of a project than I thought I would be, but it is out of the corrals, and we are now moving it over here out of the way while we figure out what Arrowquip wants to do with it. It is theirs after all, so we're going to drop it off over here. Now let me tell you, we do have a new plan coming into works for our corrals, and Arrowquip is helping us out with those. I hope to be able to show you here within the next few days exactly what we're going to be doing and how we're going to be doing it, and we'll even have some folks from Arrowquip to help us explain, and it should be a really good time. So we are going to leave this here. I'm not even going to disconnect it from the pickup because I don't want to mess with it anymore. So I am done with it, and I'm going to tell you right now my secret to being a little bit less crazy than what I am every other day. We're gonna go do something that's totally irresponsible and has no purpose whatsoever. Okay, maybe irresponsible is the wrong word, but what I am gonna do is I'm gonna put one more set of lights here on the Gator that really serve no purpose whatsoever. Keep in mind, they're cheap, and I'm not out a whole lot of money, a little bit of time, but what the hell, you gotta do something that's fun every once in a while, right? All right, and with that, our last set of lights on the Gator are complete. We are done lighting the Gator. And for full effect, well, we should probably wait for dark, because in the dark is where we shine.
Watch as the moonlight creeps into the room. You're in the headlights. I wanna feel the way you do. Remember the summer? We chased the morning light. We ran for hours. You were always on my mind. We tried to make it out alive, but we let it slip away. If we only had a second shot, we'd find another way. If we could do it all over, you would get the best of me. Could be forever. I would never let you leave. It's not too late to make it as we planned, 'cause we still got a shot in
So the wheel light things, you know what? $30. They're not the brightest things in the world, I guess. They look a little bit different actually from inside, I think, than I mean, enough light to cast barely a shadow, but the camera's not picking it up at all. It's cooler than, you know, than I let on to be anyway. All right. So that's pretty much it for tonight. We're going to cruise around, see what we can find for any cows that might be doing something. I'll be out checking throughout the night, of course. We're still waiting for, what did I say it was? 57 cows to have their calf this week. If that happens, I'll be a monkey's uncle, I'll tell you what. So anyway, thanks for hanging out with me today. We had a little bit of fun. You know, we did something we didn't really need to do, but sometimes you have to do that in life. You have to just do something weird, right? And we got a chance to bring you along for the very first step in what will be a complete corral makeover. We'll tell you more about that, and well, a whole lot more coming up as we continue the 30 and 30 right here on Our Wyoming Life. Good night.